You've reached the Titus Podcast.
Hey everybody, this is Willie Jello Johnson. You got us at the Titus Podcast. Never unbiased, always unbalanced. You want to hit us up? Go to The Real Christopher Titus on Facebook or at Titus Nation on the Twitter. Or you can hit us up on the internets at ChristopherTitus.com for the best damn comedy you ever heard. And now with the Armageddon Update, Christopher Titus.
I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. And after I just finished reading about how many people have snapped after taking antidepressants and killed a bunch of other people or themselves, I need to apologize to the gun nuts. Sorry, guys. You know, I know a lot of gun people who haven't hurt anyone. Everyone I know who was on prescription meds for a while, I couldn't stand and stopped hanging out with. You know, when you see how much companies make and how much they spend on advertising and on politicians, you realize they're not trying to cure us. They are killing us, thinning the herd. They are ending us. There are over 5,000 documented cases where people on prescription meds have snapped and killed themselves or others, and not just the ones on the news. And I don't mean snap like had a fit. I mean snap like shot up a school or sucked on a Glock, parked their Prius on a bridge and jumped off or ran over a bunch of puppies at an animal shelter. And after hearing what is going on, how many are dying, and how much money the pharmaceutical companies are making off these drugs, I want to get high. I want to get so lit that I can forget how unbelievably callous and evil our government is. You get that, right? The government doesn't really care about you, right? Because unless you have a couple billion, you aren't really going to be invited to the party. Please go to ssristories.com and look at how many people who have killed themselves or killed a bunch of other people while on medication. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to be real funny today because after seeing what these psychoactive drugs are doing to Americans, after seeing how many die and how many lives are ruined while Congress and president after president after president does absolutely nothing, scares the living shit out of me. The drug companies collectively have made over $700 billion in the last 10 years, $84 billion in profits alone in 2013, and I don't mind anyone making money, but it seems profit has direct correlation to how many of us are okay to kill. Prescription medication now kills more people than car accidents, and that's over 40,000 a year. And some of those people take a bunch of other people with them. And that 40,000 doesn't count Phil, the depressed guy who killed himself, whom they just thought it was depressed. They couldn't relate it to prescription meds, although he was on them. They think that less than 25% of these events are even recorded. That would mean 160,000 incidents. There are over 5,000 documented cases on the website, ssristories.com. And why is it that our government knows this, yet does nothing? Because the money is huge! Let me see. Should I stop the carnage or do I want an airplane? People are cheap. This is just more of the same. Cigarettes kill everybody. Let's put a label on it. Prescription medications, antidepressants, they make you violent or suicidal. Put a label on it. Call suicide a side effect. Hell, let's just make it a suicide effect. Since 1990, drug companies have given politicians and lobby firms over $2.7 billion just to make sure little Johnny's medicated and mom is not depressed and Janie is calm in class and dad can get his Johnson hard. Who cares if it cuts years off your life or makes you want to take an automatic rifle into a Chuck E. Cheese? Now, we can debate for a million years what's good or bad, but I will tell you this. An elected government that makes it okay for companies to give citizens drugs that end their lives is not a government that our founding fathers believed in. It was a government they left England to get away from. I want you to understand that the U.S. government is complicit in the killing of its citizens. Cigarettes kill all who use them. Legal prescription psychoactive drugs given to kids kill everybody. Legal alcohol, a poison. Okay, I'm okay with that one, though, because I love my 07 Pinot Noir. Oh, that Russian River Valley. Owning a firearm with no training. Legal! I got to tell you that now that I've figured this all out and can point to the evidence of it, I'm comfortable. At least now I know the truth and I can relax. Take a Prozac, and then if this podcast makes a difference and people actually do something, I'll get killed in a suspicious single-car accident. But thank God Americans never get involved in change things because they are so damn fat and medicated. Woohoo! I'm safe. I'm Christopher Titus. And this is the Armageddon Update. Hello, everybody. Christopher Titus, or Ranty Ranterstein, as I am being called today. Welcome to the Titus podcast. With me, as always, to the right, the lovely, the beautiful, the amazing Bombshell Rae.
B-Sid. What's up, people?
And again, late for the second week.
Yep.
Seems like he's going through a back and forth.
I think he's going through a breakup.
4 weeks on time. He dates somebody. Every town we're in, he's going out with someone new.
I know. He goes through a breakup like every couple days.
The ever-vacant Willie Jello Johnson. I'm sure he will be here when he gets here. That's pretty much why. I was going to
try and do his voice, but I can't.
No. All right. So here's the thing. This is kind of a follow-up to last week. After last week, I did a little more research into what exactly is going on, and I started to realize that anything that kills us, as long as the government makes money and they contribute to enough campaigns, and I know I sound like a 4-year-old that just understood how that the earth spins, but at the end of the day, if you don't think like that, if you don't think that, cigarettes kill everybody, well, if you give me enough money, I'll let you sell cigarettes. Deep down, we all have a sense of right or wrong, unless you've run for office, and then it seems to be an entirely massively gray area where there is no right or wrong, depending on how much money gets put into your campaign. So I just want to point out, I'm going to clear it up. I have a friend of mine friend of Bombshells and I, who actually works for the California Air Resource Board. He actually takes down companies that are actually polluting, that are breaking the law. And we had dinner with him the other night. I was talking to him, and I said, isn't it odd that you can sell cigarettes, which they know kill people, alcohol, which they know which causes so many drunk driving accidents. You can sell prescription medication as long as you put a label on it. You can put the ad on page one, and then 2 and 3 of the ads are the disclaimer in case something happens to you, so they've actually covered their ass. They know that all these 3 things kill you, yet they sell them every day. You can go to a pharmacy and get them. You can go to a store and get them. You can go to a gas station and get cigarettes. And yet they're shutting down companies that are pumping so many parts per million of carbon into the air, or they got a little exhaust problem. They're shutting down a hot sauce plant. They actually sued a hot sauce plant.
I like it.
And I was like, because the habanero peppers are getting in the air. And it's like people are like smelling it and like getting on a bad day when they're really smoking, because burrito sales are just through the roof. People's eyes will burn a little bit. So they're making them shut that down. So my whole point is that there's just not a big enough habanero pepper hot sauce lobby to make it okay. Habanero pepper lobby. Hey, mate, let me tell you something. I'm going to give you $2,000. You're going to let us make our peppers today, okay? Okay? It's very good, caliente.
And that was one of 2 words that you know in Spanish.
Thank you, Rosetta Stone.
Excluding burrito.
Burrito. So, isn't it odd that at the end of the day, it comes down to our government really is complicit in the killing of Americans? They don't care. As long as you give enough money, totally fine.
I'm glad that you've taken this ball and run with it, because I feel like now you're more likely to get killed in a 1-car accident.
Suspicious 1-car accident, yes.
Yeah, or maybe like commit suicide by stabbing yourself to death or something.
In the back 52 times.
Something like that with a left-handed grip or something. Yeah.
Right.
I feel like now you've become the front runner.
Titus Vince Fostered out on that one.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just thinking about. And I'm just going to hide in the back and cash those residual checks.
There you go. And basically, why are there carbon fibers from another totally different car on his body? Shut up. He killed himself. How did he cut off his own head? You got to be really committed to cut off your own head. Shut up. You know what? If we had that kind of listenership, we'd have advertising and we'd be a whore like everybody else anyway. So it's fine.
We're not organized enough to have advertising, as we proved last month. I would.
It's not that we're not organized. It's just that I'm very particular about it.
Oh, whatever.
We are not going to burn our reputation by advertising something that we don't really think is the best.
Speaking of committed suicide, and this is totally off the subject, then I promise I'll go back. But interesting factoid. I told you I was just reading about Alexander McQueen, probably one of my all-time favorite designers.
Yeah, I got a couple shoes, bud.
Still love the brand now that someone else is designing for him. But he, talk about being committed to suicide. He was found hanging.
Right.
With his wrist slashed and an overdose of drugs in his system. Like he intentionally took a bottle full of pills, then slashed his wrist, and then hung himself. So that's pretty thorough, pretty committed.
You know what? Commitment to excellence. I think sometimes in this life you got to have a commitment to going all the way, and it worked.
He proved it in his fashion. He proved it in his suicide.
He was never one of those people in a meeting later going, "Yeah, I guess I really didn't try hard enough." Those therapists. He's like, "No, first time, I'm out. Yeah, do it right the first time." And I respect that.
I do too.
Same with his designs. You have some of his stuff, and you
love it.
Same kick ass the first time.
Love it.
The man did it all the way. Let's just say that about him.
I would like to say that someone sent in on the Twitter a place for us to go and look, and it's lobbying spending, and you can look by, section.
Right.
And it's pretty amazing.
It's amazing. So let's go over what that kills us is paid for by these companies to lobbyists to give to our politicians that then pass laws that make it okay for these products to kill us. Go ahead.
So obviously I looked up, I clicked on pharmaceuticals.
Pharmaceuticals, that's one of the biggest.
Yes, and this is on Open Secret.
It is open secret. Everybody know this. That's why kill me in a suspicious one car accident.
Gonna happen. Suicide. It is pharmaceuticals. Let's see, their industry profile for 2014 alone. 2014. Do you want to guess?
How much?
No, that's not a guess. That's you.
2.2. I thought it was. I thought the total over 10 years was a couple $1 billion, but I don't know what is it for just 2014. A couple million, 2, 3 million, 4 million.
What? In last year, 2014, it was $65 million in 1 year.
They get that's what they paid lobbyists.
Just lobbyists. We're not talking about advertising on CNN.
No, they actually spent $15 billion advertising.
$15 billion in advertising on CNN. So do you think
total?
And this is why we've turned down ad buys from Pfizer and Merck. They offered us a couple bill, and we said no because could we talk about this if we were taking $2 billion?
No, you couldn't. You couldn't.
$3 billion.
There's no way if the ad budget for CNN is $300 million, or if they give CNN, let's say they give CNN $12 million just for advertising, there is no way that you're going to see Anderson Cooper connecting every single one of these shootings to someone who's taken prescription medication. They're not going to sit down and go. Well, Prozac was a factor in all these,
or even bring it up any kind of tie.
Even it's always gun control and this and that. And you know what? I'll say this again, and because gun people always think that I'm just anti-gun. I'm really not. I'm just anti. I'm anti-ridiculous. Common sense is fine. Again, gun insurance. If you have a gun, you got to keep $1 million in gun insurance. There'll be a company tomorrow set up if that happened. It costs you $100 a year, and you get in case someone gets shot or your kid takes his own life or something on accident happens. Got it. If you don't lock your gun up, it's your fault. I mean, if there was some common sense laws, guns kill about 18,000 people a year. That's a lot. It's a big number. Car accidents, 40,000. Prescription medication, over 42,000. And that's, they said they only think that 25% of those are directly connected to prescription
Wait, how many for car accidents?
About over 40, 38, 39.
So that's a lot more than guns.
A lot
People
more than guns.
use that argument.
Household accidents, 113,000.
Here's my argument.
And as I always say,
guns were designed to kill.
Right.
So it's apples and oranges. You can't compare. A car was not designed to kill.
Right. And plus there's millions and millions and millions more use.
That the gun's averages and odds are way higher. The gun is killing it, so to speak.
Percentage-wise.
Right now, percentage-wise, designed to shoot something that will kill. Car, not designed to shoot something that will kill, actually designed to go down the highway to work.
And imagine, you're on the road every day, right? And we've got 6 lanes of highway on either side. We've got cross streets, people going through lights, people lefts and rights, and they kill 40,000 people a year, okay? And it's millions and millions and millions and millions of cars every day. Now, if you had everybody shooting bullets at each other, crossing lanes and switching and shooting it,
crazy.
Right, then I think the guns would go way up. So the guns pretty much are operating above the 90 percentile range and killing people.
Sure.
Right? When they shoot at something, they kill it. I'm not saying I'm comparing, but people always say that, and I agree with you. It's apples and oranges 100%. Prescription meds, on the other hand, are being advertised, and the commercials are amazing, and they're amazing. It's just
so get this, though.
Yep.
I just want to be very clear to the people listening. $15 billion on CNN alone.
No. Not just no. It's total advertising. But let's say CNN gets a chunk of
all pharmaceutical advertising in 1 year.
On television, and we're one of two companies,
That's
two countries in the world. Do you know England doesn't allow it? Germany doesn't allow it. Norway doesn't allow it. You cannot because it's weird because we sit in this country and we think, oh, it's the same across the world, right? No. It's got to be the same across the world. God, I can't believe the people in England are just taking. No. Only us and I think I've brought this up before, New Zealand. Us and New Zealand. That's pretty much it. Is that weird?
Well, because if you think about it, it shouldn't be an impulse buy. It shouldn't be like, right. You know what I mean? Like
when you
the
see
gum
a car,
at the supermarket.
Hey, the new Mustang is out.
Damn, I got to go get that.
They got the new antidepressant. It's a 2014 model. There's a 2014 Prozac.
And this one doesn't cause the shits. Yeah. They didn't say the shits on this one.
They did. This one, they've cured the shit problem.
I got to get my doctor on the horn right now. You know what I mean?
It shouldn't be an impulse.
It should be
prescription. Right.
It should not be a happy thought. It should be something like, damn.
Let's be clear. I just want to clear what you said. Psychoactive drugs should not be an impulse buy.
Right.
Brilliant.
Because it shouldn't just be like, it should be like a bad thing. If you have a serious issue that you think needs to be medicated, it shouldn't be a happy, yay, there's flowers and trees and puppies, yay, she's swimming, and it right. Should be this thing where you're like, damn, I gotta go talk to my doctor, and it's a private thing, and things aren't going well for me, and I need to see if maybe that's an option. It shouldn't just be this big glorified thing like it is in this country.
Right. It's oh, great. Well, say hi. What's up?
What up, boo?
Yo, man, what you guys doing, man? Hey, is my mic on?
Yes.
Yes, your mic is on.
Sorry I'm late, but I'm not that late. I am actually early when it comes to how late I usually am.
That's a good point. You actually are. We're talking about the government's trying to kill us.
Oh, try to be a black man in this world.
No.
Yeah. Don't be saying no. White girl, you don't know how it is. Man, I'll tell you what, you walk this world. Okay, again, look at it. Listen to how many rap songs do you know? A lot? You ever notice those lines in them rap songs that talk about how every corner got a gun store, pawn shop?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or a damn liquor.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about all the lines in the rap songs that talk about raping women, beating women, trick, hoe? What about that?
That's just loving your bitch.
The person you need to be talking to is him. White men. They're the ones that have screwed everything up.
That's true. We have actually done it. I'm trying to actually change that. I'm actually trying to say, but listen. So we were just talking about all the companies that are basically, again, all the food right now. If these Monsanto, these huge food companies. By the way, people, we're not just going to do another prescription drug podcast because I think we've beaten that to death. But let's go over Monsanto. Let's go over all these companies that put so much crap in the food. Everything has corn syrup in it, which does what? Make you. I was walking the other day, I'm looking around. Do you know everybody's fat? There's nobody. Like, there's the people that are in shape are at the gym, and half of those are like trying to get in shape because they realize they're dying of diabetes. Hey, dude, what happened? I lost my foot. Why? And then he just points to the McDonald's sign across the street. It's all bad, and our government knows it's bad, but instead of regulating it or going, hey, it kills human beings, sorry, you can't sell that anymore. They just go, oh, you know what? You guys gave us $3 billion total across the board to Congress. You know what? We're going to pass a bill so you can actually keep making that crap. And I know it's a lot more complicated than me being, it's a lot more complicated, jobs and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but if jobs was killing people, I mean, shouldn't you stop the company that giving them jobs? By the way, welcome to Murder Incorporated. We have employed over 6,500 people this year, and we cannot close the company. We have to keep killing people and turning them into Soylent Green because we got to keep the economy going.
See, the problem is if there's no people, like he just said, how do you keep the economy going? People, we're going to run out of people eventually. I don't think we're ever going to run out of people.
So it's like
everybody is fucking.
It's mostly the people that shouldn't be. It's not the PhDs that are humping.
Yo, man, that's a little racist. I believe that's racist in the extreme.
I wasn't even talking about any race. Thank you. Yeah. I meant actually mental.
Oh, you're right. I go through the ghetto all the time. There are a lot of PhDs. You're right. You weren't talking about black people or people of low income. You're right.
If you've ever lived in the South, then you would know that there are white ghettos too. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah. There's some crackers that
They're called trailer parks.
There are some crackers that should not be fucking, let's be honest.
Oh, see, now you're racist.
Yeah, you are kind of racist sometimes.
Guilty.
I just want to say,
at least he owns it. That's what I love.
As far as the food thing, it's like it's all this crap that people do that the government, pumps out, and it's like I was about to say something very conspiracy theory bent,
They've changed the food pyramid to match what companies were making. Do you know the government food pyramid changed when they invented white flour, processed flour? They changed it and made those carbs a big part of the official government food pyramid.
And it's a picture of white bread.
Yeah.
But, like, for example, Coke.
Yo, this whole country a picture of white bread.
And this will offend people, I'm sure, but I've always been unoffensive. But it's like Coca-Cola. If you are a little heavy, have a little fat around your middle, you could cut out Coke and you would probably see a massive difference just by doing that alone. But not only that, you have to think about, so Coke actually has a lot of high amounts of citric acid and phosphoric acid. So you have to think about...
Full of phosphoric acid,
correct.
Like the kind that glows phosphorus?
So you would have to think about, what is that doing to your insides, to your teeth, to your intestines, to your esophagus, to your stomach while it sits in there, your digestive system. And then people are like, wow, cancer rates are through the roof. I wonder why.
Yeah. You know, just because I haven't seen a carrot, let alone eaten one in 15 years or had a vegetable, that's another thing but the whole point of this one for me is that at the end of the day, the government is trying. And I don't think they're specifically. I don't think any congressman sits there and goes, you know what, we're going to kill a bunch of people. Oh, yeah, let's go ahead with that. I think they go, how much you're going to give me to pass that? Okay. But they don't sit down and think that this is going to kill a bunch of people. They don't think that this is going to cause cancer rates to go through the roof. And by the way, the $1 billion that you got over the last 10 years, or the $220 million that you got over the last 20 years per congressman, whatever it is, they don't think that it cost us in healthcare $2 billion or $5 billion. They don't think that. They just think, hey, what? I can be elected again and do my crappy job where I really don't have to get nothing done and don't vote on anything. So, and then on top of all of this, they don't care that it kills us. They don't seem to be giving us any out.
Well, I think this. I think that it's all about money. Everything in the world from the beginning of time is from money and it's about money. So if the dude that got some money can get anything done. By the way, man, them pyramids, man, you know what we need to do? We need to build these pyramids. Well, that's going to take a lot of people. What are we going to do? I don't know. Let's get 10,000 Jews or whatever and have them build the pyramids. What if we kill a whole bunch of them? Here's some money. Cool. We could kill them then.
Yeah, I don't think that they really think through. There's no longevity in sight. I think they're just thinking, right, like you said. Because if you look at this list of lobbying spending that is on opensecrets.org, like, you know, there's some things that you would think would be pretty high up there.
So he said, so pharmaceuticals is number one, right?
Number one, and the next closest is 25.5 million less. I mean,
25.5 million or billion? Oh, per year, 25
per year,
wow,
less.
So less.
So pharmaceuticals, I mean, they're blowing everybody out of the water.
Right. And then, like Chris Rock said, they're not trying to cure it. They just want to be able to live with it.
And here's an example: education lobbying, 20 million, pharmaceutical 65.
Wow. Well, you know, those go hand in hand. If you keep a kid medicated, you know, he's fine. He'll get through his math class. He may shoot up an assembly one day. But if you can't, sorry, yeah. But you know what? He didn't cause a teacher any problem. So we don't seem, and no one cares. Like, and I think here's the thing. Want to hear my big conspiracy thing? It's all connected.
Welcome to Conspiracy Hour. Take 72,371.
Oh shit! Here we go again. I hate when he does this.
Let me finish. Okay, so here's the thing. So it all goes together. It all goes together. Look at it this way. So if you keep the income levels low, right? Keep the income level low so people have to go to work and work bad jobs. They don't have time for education. They don't have time to learn. They don't have time to watch the news. They don't have time to be informed because they're just trying to survive. So since you keep them stupid, they stay stupid. And then what happens is they can never come up against it. So then you can actually run them the way, and you keep the income levels low, education is low. No one ever questions authority. And this just keeps going on. It just keeps going on. But yeah.
That was the worst cow ever. That was the worst cow.
Yo, man, that's pretty good sheep, man. Like you must spend some time.
That was actually a cow on antidepressants scene.
So what they do is they basically keep us all stupid, keep us uninformed, keep the truth out of the news. And by the way, now I sound like a militia guy. But I noticed that no one brought up pharmaceuticals. No one brought up and mental illness. They keep saying mental illness, which is the other way. That's the other side of it. We need more pharmaceuticals. If it's mental illness that's causing this, we need more pharmaceuticals. Except the people that have been killing people, if you go to SSRI.com or SSRIstories.com, you will see that the people that are on the medication are the ones snapping, you know?
Yeah, because they're good up until.
Yeah.
And you have to think about that's something that you have to balance. So if that's messing with your brain and then you miss a pill, like a kid might do if he becomes responsible for his own medication when he becomes a teenager.
Right. Or they start kids a little younger than that. They're starting kids at 8, 9
I'm
years
saying
old.
once they hit teenager, the parents are probably like, here's a responsibility you can handle. Make sure you take your pill every morning.
Right.
I'm going to put it in a little pill thing on your bathroom counter.
You can't seem to get your socks to the hamper, but I'm going to let you deal with your medication.
Teaching you responsibility. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You don't have to take the garbage out. You're too stupid for that.
Yeah, mom's still finding skid marks in your shorts, but you handle your dosage.
Right.
Right, exactly.
So they miss a pill here and there becomes this imbalance. As you saw with your mother, there was an imbalance when medication was not taken.
When mom didn't take her medication, it was definitely a ride.
So there's this on psychologytoday.com, and also this dude that wrote this article, this psychologist, also has written a book called Obsession, A History, but he's questioning effectiveness of SSRIs. Prozac and certain ones in particular. He says, reason one to not take them. Number one, there is a study in the Journal of the American Medical Association that says that SSRIs like Paxil and Prozac are no more effective in treating depression than a placebo pill.
So that mean if you just ran a mile a day, you would probably get the same effect from your endorphins.
Maybe. That means that they are 33% effective, which is the percent of patients who will respond well to a sugar pill.
So wait. So they're no more effective than a placebo, but it's still messing with your brain. So it really doesn't change your behavior. It just puts a psychoactive chemical in your brain.
This AMA study actually found that it is more effective to some degree in treating severe depression, like people severely depressed, but don't have any real effect on routine depressions, like the kind we all have, like that you talked about in Revolution.
Everybody's depressed now.
If you have normal, mild, routine depression, like you
like a
don't,
human being has.
Right, exactly. Anxiety, all that, right.
Yeah, man, just watch 10 minutes of the damn news. Damn.
33% of the people of taking the medication were on sugar pills, on placebos, and found a marked improvement in their depression.
Mood. So they changed their mind. So basically, because
change your mind, change your life.
Change your mind, change your life. So it's great. It's great.
Reason number two, a study Columbia University and Johns Hopkins did.
Just want to be clear. The first reason is they don't work.
Okay.
Second
Succinct.
reason.
I like it. To the point. This was a study, Columbia and Johns Hopkins. Study says that doctors routinely prescribe not one, but 2 or 3 SSRIs and other psychopharmacological drugs in combination with few, if any, serious studies to back up multiple usage. Doctors get kickbacks.
Of course they do. I've been to my doctor a few times, and he's just gone, by the way, take this. What is it? I don't know. Just get sampled. It'll make you feel better. What? I don't. You know what I do with them?
You know why?
I drop them in the garbage can on the way out.
You know why this doctor says?
Why?
Because it's in case the first drug doesn't work, perhaps the second or the third will. They're basically performing uncontrolled experiments on the patients, hoping in a scattershot way they might work.
That's like you going into like MAC makeup and them treating you like a rabbit, just testing chemicals on your eyes and make sure they don't burn your skin.
Right.
That's crazy. You
Right.
look pretty. Ah!
Thank you.
It burns, but I do look pretty.
I'm pretty.
It's
I
shiny.
am pretty.
Why is there smoke?
Touch me. Pretty.
That's crazy.
Reason number 3.
All right, hold on. Let's be clear.
Okay, succinct.
So
go for it.
what's reason number 2? Reason number 2 will be that basically they don't work and nobody knows shit. That's
Okay,
number 2.
all right.
Number 1, they don't know. They don't work, and number 2, no one knows shit.
It's the potluck pills.
I like it when he puts it clean like that. You bring us a very mild amount of street cred.
Yeah, not mild, man. I'll bring you street cred.
It's mild because of the percentage.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
2 of us are placebos for street cred.
Yes.
And
You
only
actually
one of
have-
us. So it's 33% effective rate of street cred on the Titus podcast.
Yeah, so I bring it 100% because of you two whiteys.
Although I feel like maybe I could contribute maybe like 10.
Yeah, I give you 10%.
Okay,
I give you
good.
10%. So we're now at 43%. You get 0.
I expect that. I totally expect that.
And accept.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay. Reason number 3. More and more psychiatric disorders are appearing that might be called lifestyle diseases. What was once called shyness, sadness, restlessness, shopping too much, high sex drive, low sex drive, so on, are increasingly now being called diseases. And are now
Crazy.
appearing, if you look, in the Diagnostic Manual of Psychological and Psychiatric Disorders this manual is used to prescribe medication.
So acting like a normal human, having needs and wants, having lusts and joys and sad is now you have a problem.
Yes.
So if you were just like this the entire time, you had no anger
Perfect.
and no happiness.
Perfect.
So I don't need any medication now.
Perfect.
I'm going to drive at 35 miles an hour on the way home. I will hit my blinker at the turn. I will hit my blinker, and I will never be angry or I never be sad, and I will never be happy.
Yep. It's American Dream, baby.
Oh man, I feel
updated.
I feel so good right now.
It's American Dream 2.0.
You're starting to creep me out, man. Whatever, laugh or something, giggle.
Giggle?
There he goes. Good. That was
giggle.
a giggle. Did you want to sum that one up?
So the third one is okay. So
well, number 1 is it doesn't work. They don't work. That's placebo.
Okay.
Right. Number 2 is nobody knows shit. That's the people that are giving it to you.
So number 3 would be what? Oh, basically, you're not sick. Number 3 is they're not good because you're not sick. You're just a human being with normal
Get
emotions.
an effing grip. I would call that.
Getting an effing grip. That'd be great. Wouldn't that be the best doctor? You know, I'm depressed. What happened? Well, my kids are just on me all day long, and I don't know what to do, and I'm not fulfilled in my life, and I need a job. Hey, I'm gonna give you a prescription. Get an effing grip. Quit being a wussy. My dad had this down, by the way. My father had quit being a wussy.
Quit being a wussy. That's what we'll call it.
My dad had this down.
An homage to Papa Titus.
My dad had this entire thing down.
Okay. Reason number 4. We're an over-medicated society, and the goal of drug companies and a compliant and harried medical establishment is ultimately to have some drug coursing through every person's bloodstream. It's a lot easier to pop a pill or prescribe than it is to explore reasons for a person's distress.
Right. So you even if you is sick, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna just put something through you so you don't notice that you're sick. We ain't gonna make it better. We don't have
time for that.
No, but we'll tone it down. We're gonna tone it down. Well, now the side effect may be you tone it up with some other people and an automatic weapon, but we're gonna tone it down.
It's the same reason that parents. God, I can't talk today. Parents prescribe things is because it takes a lot longer to sit and work through issues with your kids or to teach them, but without getting angry. It's kind of what we were doing with the dog trainer today. It's a lot of work where you have to keep repeating this behavior and be patient and work with them. And people are doing this with dogs too. Give the kid a Prozac.
And he's totally chill.
So it's all about, it's a me society. I don't have time to deal with your bullshit. Take this pill. Look how good you are. What a great parent I am.
Even though I brought you into the world and my job, by the way, because that's another thing too. Once you commit to children, once you have them, it's your job. That's why whenever I'm on a plane and that kid's a little bastard, the kid's not a bastard. His parents are dickheads. That kid shouldn't be acting like that. His parents are doing. He's just a kid. He's going to do what he can. That's what kids do. By the way, do they need to be disciplined? Yeah, but it's his parents that let him get like that. I want to point out, by the way, guys. Well, keep listening. We're also on Breathe Radio.
Oh, I like when you do that, man. I'm doing it. Yeah. By the way, yeah, listen to us, the Titus podcast on Breathe Radio.
Yeah, I know it's good, right? We're both sitting here creeping out
and looking at each other, which is weird.
Yeah, and by the way, just smiling. It was the we boys.
By the way, if you want to see these boys as well as this girl, we're going to be at Virginia Beach Funny Bone this Friday through Sunday.
Yep, the Virginia Bone, and then do me a favor, guys. If you want to get something on Amazon, click through the ChristopherTitus.com page. Click to the Amazon link. It'll take you to the page. It doesn't cost you anything, but because we don't take advertising, and if we do, it's going to be very rarely, and then when we do take advertising, you'll rush out and get the product because you know that we don't take advertising. Go to the Amazon, just go to ChristopherTitus.com, click the Amazon link, and they send us a little something. Thanks for doing that.
Something.
And go to ChristopherTitus.com if you want to get some amazing comedy.
Brilliant. Neverlution, you actually did a whole prescription drug bit.
I did. Wasn't that long though. It needed to be longer. Now I know more. I wish I could go back and refilm that special.
Why don't you just write another bit?
I should. Next special. Next one's about kids. Next one's all about
brilliant prescription meds, kids. There
you're
you go.
Right. It's
Brilliant.
in there. Perfect. You're right. It's in there. It's
Thank
in there.
you.
Yeah, I'm planning a bit now. All
just
right.
give
Nice.
you your whole special.
Yeah, why don't you just give a credit for all your everything you do?
Thank you.
No.
Okay.
Not a chance.
We'll talk later.
So we got food that kills people. They let it go. We've got prescription medications that kill people. The government lets it go, because that's what the point of this was, to point out that they don't give a flying rat's ass as long as you pay them enough to okay the laws. They coal companies, they're like the coal. They know that certain pollutants will definitely destroy, and they still let it go on up until people are dying. Fracking, you basically can light your water on fire, but they're letting that go because oil companies. How much are oil companies giving? Do you know what? Do you know what the percentage of oil companies?
Oh, I do, but I just closed it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I'll look it up while you're talking.
You know, because
I was on to something else brilliant.
They just did. I just saw a thing on Vice. It's a pretty good show. Vice on HBO. They were talking about how the Gulf's fine now. Well, the problem is that the dispersants, the chemicals that they put on the oil, if they'd have just let the oil sit on top of the water and let it just disperse automatically, it wouldn't have screwed up. Instead, what they did is they put this dispersant on it, and it sunk it, and it basically went right down to the bottom of the ocean where everything lives, where the food is, and killed it. So whenever we get involved, and by the way, there's been a lot of oil spills in the ocean that were natural, because oil comes up from the earth, and there's fissures sometimes that form, and oil leaks into the ocean, and that's what happens. So sometimes oil spills happen that we don't even know. But because we put this synthetic chemical on top of it to disperse it, it actually killed everything when it went to the bottom. Instead of just sending the waves beating it to a little micro. It's crazy to me that the more we get involved, the more we screw it up.
Right.
Black people noticed that for a long time. The more white they get involved, the more things get screwed up. Why don't y'all just stand on the corner?
White men. Yes. Women didn't get involved.
Yeah, that's right. Let me be clear.
And by the way, I don't want to keep pointing this out, but
I
women got the right to vote and own land over 50 years after black men got the right.
Yeah, but that's because you're women.
Oh, my God.
You guys are emotional. You guys, we had to make sure you're going to be okay with it.
You're such an idiot, both of you.
I don't like her attitude.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay, oil and gas is 33.
So 33 million more than education.
Oh yeah, more than education, but not more than prescription medication.
Wow. So.
By the way, that link was sent in by Steve Behringer on the Twitter.
So they know that gasoline and oil. It's talk. We burn fossil fuels. It's bad for the environment. In fact, it's changing the planet. It's causing climate change. And I know there's a lot of people. You know what I heard? This is another thing.
What did you heard?
Me. I was watching TV. I was watching something, and they interviewed. And thank God again for Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert. Thank God for these guys, because what they do is they put things in a context. They call everybody on their bullshit, and then you go, "Oh my God, how can they have said that? How could they have said one thing 6 months ago and said the total opposite?" And then you check how much money got donated to that congressman, and you go, "Oh, that's why he said it." So they were talking about one of the some guy, just one of the Republicans came on. He goes. I know it all. I know that he basically said this. I know that 200 climate scientists across the world agree that that climate change is happening. I personally don't think it's the case. Really, small business owner who got elected into Congress, who's not a scientist? You really? And he just said it out loud, right on the mic.
Here's what I don't get. And as a somewhat conservative woman,
you're somewhat conservative,
who is a Christian, I know that I'm supposed to be against climate change or something. I don't really get it.
You're not supposed to believe it.
As a free-thinking individual, I have seen in my lifetime, if you add chemicals to anything, it changes that thing.
Right.
Irrevocably,
and the
usually.
longer you do it and the more you do it, it continues to change it.
And not in a good way. Chemicals, you don't typically add a chemical and then you're like, wow, look at all the flowers that grew.
It's not like putting apple juice on it, is what you're saying.
Right. It kills things. And if it does make something grow, it kills a lot of other stuff. It's like, just like drugs, there's a side effect. I can't figure out why we're not supposed to believe in it. I'm very confused by it.
I mean, why we've been burning fossil fuels and pumping chemicals into the environment across the board, whether it's wetlands, oceans, or whatever, and pumping stuff into the air, and why we should believe that has absolutely no effect? Of course.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Why would that have an effect? Pumping all these horrible chemicals that were man-made.
Like, maybe I'm missing something, and if someone wants to write in and tell me.
And doing it for over 100 years, by
kindly,
the way.
in a nice way.
For a century, we've been doing it. China, did you see now, it's funny, because people go look at pictures of China's pollution. It's
I know,
crazy.
look at how short they all are.
Yeah, man. Talk about an entire country that's stunted. That entire country without even trying to smoke 2-pack a day. That's just walking to school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? I mean, the environment. If you look at some of the pictures of the smog in China, it's what LA Basin used to look like years and years ago in the 40s.
It's an old concept. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
Right. But it's easy to, again, if you keep the people stupid, they will follow you. Some of the biggest tricks that our government has played, and some of the political parties have played, to me, is that they can actually make it so they make some guy who's making $36,000 a year believe that if the tax on the rich goes from 8% to 18%, that the guy with the roofing job is going to suffer. Guy with the roofing job, they're not changing his tax rate. They're changing the guy who made $10 million, who made a $10 million bonus on taking that guy's money, that $5,000 he's got in stocks, and taking his little piece of that over, doing it over to 200,000 people. That's why, and we can't we got to raise taxes. They're not raising taxes on you. They're not raising taxes on you. Now they're going to be raising my taxes. That's what they're going to be doing. They'll be raising my taxes. This is a discussion item like to have. What kind of car do you drive? BMW. I would like to say my taxes. I would like to put my 2 cents in, and that's all I paid in taxes last year. 2 cents. That's a joke. I paid $2.
Yo, man, these characters you do, I don't like them that much. I never seen you have less to go on.
I know, it's great.
Like you had nothing. You just
both of us just sit here and watch it unfold.
That was BMW Huffing Book Hemming and Hawing is what it was. Yeah,
BMW Hemming and Hawing book.
She tried to get you going and you couldn't do it. You need to work on your improv.
I thought it was good. By the way, the psychologist that wrote that article.
Don't you work for me? I know. Why shouldn't you be detailing my vehicle?
I know he's racist, and I know that's a character, but I will still punch a character.
Wow.
The psychologist that wrote that article,
yep.
He actually said, don't you remember in the 1970s? And I mean you, because I don't, but there were movies apparently about like this Soviet run world and this like dystopia, like where everyone is flatlined.
Yeah.
And they march and there's no emotion and and he said, yeah, here we are. This is it.
You live day to day, live exactly though. There's no ups or downs. You keep you right in the middle. You do your job. By the way, you keep putting the nuts on the bolts. And then here's now. You think if they're doing that and they're trying to get everybody medicated, because they're detecting it in water now. You know, they're detecting prescription medications in wastewater. Like you can,
especially do you remember that story in England?
Yeah. So it doesn't matter that they're not advertising it in England.
Although it could just be our water flowing everywhere. We're killing everyone. You're welcome. But now
let's talk about cigarettes though. Let's talk about cigarettes. Go ahead. What are you gonna say? We had what?
We have an inside view to this. One of our listeners, you remember me telling you about this, her name's Kristen Sanchez.
Right.
And she works as a dual diagnosis counselor and she treats convicted felons. And so she wrote in and she sent me like just some really interesting stuff. But to back up what we were talking about last week, she said, as to our suspicions regarding SSRIs, most of her clients are lower socioeconomic status, and so they go on webcam and they see the county clinic psychiatrist for an average of 4 to 6 minutes a month. Because of financial hardships, the doctors stick to that Walmart $4 plan, and they rubber stamp everything. It's Prozac, Paxil all around. Everybody gets the same thing, and so the doctors get a kickback.
Right.
Then the inmates get the cheapest meds so they can afford it, but nobody's looking at what the problem is or what is best suited to them.
Because we're all the same, and you can give us all the exact same medication because we all have the same broken parts.
Then she was going on to say that there's a bunch of interesting stuff, like there's a new FDA-approved drug in this country where so many people are dying from prescription medication. They have actually just approved a drug called Zohydro, and it's 10 times stronger than Vicodin. Is that crazy?
Why did I just get excited a little bit?
No.
Have you had a Vicodin?
Man, I kind of did too when she said that.
I got to be honest with you, man. I don't know. I mean, it's weird because Vicodin does something crazy.
I know. I had some after my eye surgery, and I actually said I would never take it again because it was so. After I did my laser stuff, they gave me 2 Vicodin. I had 2 of them, and I slept. And when I woke up,
you actually had 4.
Did I have 4? Did I really? Okay.
When I gave them to you, had 2.
Oh, what? All I remember is waking up going, oh, wow, I could get addicted to that easy.
I actually have a picture that I could post with your permission of you after your laser surgery.
Okay, fine if you want to.
You've got these those, I don't know if anybody's ever seen someone with eye surgery, but they put giant bug eye clear goggle, but they're lenses on each eye, and then they take white tape and they strap them on to your eyes. Yeah. And then I got you a Starbucks coffee in a Christmas cup, and I put you in bed, and you're asleep with those goggle things on, tape, everything, mouth open, holding your Starbucks cup on your chest with 2 hands.
And it's funny, it was like basically like it was just putting a cone on a dog. They put them over your eyes, these big plastic cups, so you can't itch your eyes while you sleep or roll on them. And I am ridiculous looking. But I remember thinking, wow, what they know now with drugs is they've probably figured out pretty much how we react to anything and know what chemicals make us do what. They can invent anything. The problem is you have to be smart enough as a human being to go, you know what, I need to maybe eat a bunch more carrots, maybe buy a juicer. Instead of paying $300 a month on drugs, I can maybe get a juicer and start eating. The problem is if you do that, then you're aware, and then they don't want you aware.
By the way, people, get rid of your prescription medication. Here's the thing. Bottle it up. If you have Lortabs, bottle them up. Get them out of your house. Bring them to the shows and hand them to me after the show.
Hey, don't do that.
No.
Damn, that could be used in a court of law.
I'll share with you.
No,
Willie.
No, I don't need it. All right, so bring him. We're going to be on Virginia Beach.
Both of you, stop it.
Also, she said that Adderall.
What is Adderall? I heard this is a bad one.
Amphetamine salts. It's the little brother to meth, and we give it to kids.
You kidding me?
No.
Okay, so we know. Okay, so we really beat the hell out of prescription meds. We know prescription meds kill, and we know the government is complicit in letting that happen. We know that cigarettes kill everybody.
Kill you.
Totally. No. So how do we stop that? Government, how do we stop it? As I say in the new show, put a label on it. Let's put a warning on the side label. It's so funny because we think that's enough. We go, oh, it says right on the pack, this can kill you. It doesn't stop anybody from smoking. That's just part of the advertising now. Your cigarette just has a picture of a dead fetus on it. That's all. Your cigarette just has a picture of a diseased lung. That's just marketing at this point. I'm a badass.
There is a point, though, where you can't account for stupid. Like human beings, we're going to continue to make things that hurt us and kill us. It's just, that's what we're going to do. And there is a point where, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to, we're going to assign one government official for every moron born to hold your hand and make sure that you don't do stupid stuff?
Well, how do we know that the government officials aren't morons? I wouldn't trust any government official.
Exactly.
Right.
And plus Florida alone, I mean...
oh my God, we're done.
Done. There's no way.
We're done. We could only maybe cover Tallahassee. We couldn't even cover all of Florida.
Mm-mm. Definitely not West Palm.
No.
Broward County.
Broward County, we'd be done right there. Just the organization to get that going. So maybe this is the thing then. So be smart, people. And the only way to be smart is listen to the Titus podcast. Ha ha!
Aluminum in your deodorant. I said that in the very beginning 3 years ago, and those are gone now. The women don't wear regular deodorant. It has aluminum in it. Your lymph nodes are in your armpits.
Does anybody think of that?
Breast cancer. Breast cancer
rates skyrocket when they started putting aluminum in it. Fluoride in your toothpaste? Is it a byproduct of aluminum?
Get Tom's of Maine deodorant and toothpaste.
Their government is complicit. The studies show it. Everything's fine. Even some of the makeup too, man. It's like all this crap, and they don't care because the companies that want to make money pay the government a percentage to get it done. So do me a favor, people. Be smart, or just accept you're going to die earlier. You're going to die earlier. Maybe that means the last 3 years when you would have been deteriorating, or you don't have to deal with those. But the three before you die anyway are going to suck ass, unless you crank out good like Jim Fix on a run. Your heart just locks up, blow the nodes off your heart, boom, done.
But what a way to go!
So quick, no, just
amen.
Just
doing
gone.
Something you love.
Yeah, doing what you did.
Yep.
If I Dick Shawn went out on stage when I just stand-up comic Dick Shawn, great actor, went out on stage. They thought it was part of the show.
I thought you were going out in the kitchen last night. You were sitting on the couch. I was making dinner,
Right.
And you started grabbing your chest. And I literally I had this moment where I realized that we do live in this safety bubble where nothing's going to happen to us, but people have been cooking dinner and had their person die.
Read that quote. My lovely sister Shannon, who lives in Sweden, sent us an amazing quote that I thought, and you know the reason we do this is I've got to the point now after reading this podcast has caused me trouble. The reason it has caused me trouble because I know every week I got to write something for you guys and come up with something. So what it has made me do, it's made me look deeper and deeper into the bullshit that goes on in this country. And the deeper I look, it just gets thicker. It doesn't get clearer. It gets thicker. So no matter what happens, no matter what they do, no matter what next thing they approve to kill us because some lobbyist put a big enough check in their bank account, remember this. Do you have the quote?
Ralph Waldo Emerson, sent by Shannon Titus. One of the illusions is that the present hour is not the critical, decisive hour. That's one of the illusions. Write it on your heart that every day is the best day in the year. No man has learned anything rightly until he knows that every day is doomsday.
That's a weird, uplifting, and bummer quote at the same time.
But the first sentence, that's the key. One of the illusions is
Right.
that the present hour is not the critical, decisive hour.
Right. There's an interesting video, and I don't know what it's called. I saw it recently. It was a film done by a guy, and it was basically 600 seconds or something, and it was called. It was just this picture of this little girl. It starts out really nice in a house, and it's just a second as her life changes, and there's just little seconds of like she's playing this, and she's in the same frame the whole time. And as it goes on, you hear boom in the back like a bomb going off, and then you see slowly, and her face starts to change, and she's like, "Mommy, what's happening?" And by the end of it, she's in a hospital bed. And you realize that any moment your life could change.
Right, so that means every day could be doomsday. So you got to deal with it like it. You got to deal with today like this is. It's the same. Every day, someone just stole Ralph Waldo Emerson's ass. See, they plagiarize. This is the last day. Every day, the last day of your life. No, wait. Live today like it's your last. Right. I'm not good with quotes, man. I don't bring a whole lot of quotes in.
You combine two quotes. You combine that one and today is the first day of the rest of your life, which I'm with you.
And it's doomsday.
Shut up, man. And it's doomsday?
Actually, that quote could be changed to today is the last day of your life.
Yeah.
What? It's a lot less uplifting.
Yeah, because you listen to the Titus podcast and you have too much information. All right, guys. So that's us ranting and raving. Now I'd like to get to Bombshell Rae. From sea to shining sea, continent to continent, she brings you information from around the globe. It's Bombshell Rae with the Bombshell News.
Oh, man.
What?
You thieved.
I did a
You did a thieving. You robbed me. By the way, my flailing segment.
You're flailing? What? You're flailing, say me?
I can't talk today. I think I've made that abundantly clear. Old people still kicking it.
Old people
I've
still
tried.
kicking-
I've tried
Yep.
and I've tried. And I'm telling you, this is
like
the one.
Okay, good.
91-year-old woman last weekend ran the San Diego Marathon.
Wow.
26 miles. 91. This is her 15th marathon. I think she didn't start running marathons until she was 74.
Do you know why people don't like to hear this segment? Old people still kicking it?
Everyone loves it.
No, because we
It's you.
feel because we
It's
feel
just
like
you.
losers. Then you feel like I have done nothing. I've done absolutely nothing with my life. How old? 91? Jesus, I haven't won a run.
A marathon, 26 miles. She started running them when she was 74. And she actually has this quote in the article that I read, you saw it, about how all these young people out here are limping.
Yeah. It's kind of a backhanded thing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
She goes, at least I'm not like them.
Wow, you're a bitch still. at
Yeah, and
91.
you're still kind of bitchy.
But you've earned the right, so congratulations on your self-esteem.
What's her name? Do you know her name?
I just saw the news this weekend.
Yeah, no, she was great, and she looks really good too.
She looks good.
She's 91. She's still out running it. Her mind's together. It's a weird that people don't connect the body, the body and the mind, the health.
Change
thing.
your mind, change your life.
Yeah, there you go.
Police are now searching for a serial tickler who has been targeting Boston college students. The tickler has been breaking into the homes of BC students to watch them sleep or tickle their feet.
I wasn't there. We have not been in Boston, and even every trip I made to Boston, I did not stay where that happened.
Well, he's called the Tickler. It's used to be thought a myth, but now Boston police have confirmed 10 sightings of the Tickler, 3 of which occurred on the night of April 7th.
What's he doing again?
He's watching them sleep and or tickling their feet while they sleep.
Why is that more creepy than someone coming up with a knife? Why does that seem creepy?
Well, they're worried that he might accelerate and maybe at some point stop
Well, he's
bringing a
gonna move
feather and start bringing a gun. Who knows?
Or might go on to moving on to leg massages, maybe. He might start going a little further.
By the way, if that's what he moves on to, my address is 723 Shady Avenue, Los Angeles.
Brow wipings.
900.
Ear calmings.
72.
3.
9er. Okay. Why are you looking at me?
Because you cannot speak English today, and it's odd to see it just come apart.
It's super awesome. Students
I know
in Utah.
She's more articulate than all of us, and she can't handle it today.
Students in Utah have been upset to discover that their yearbook photos were altered to show less skin.
I saw this. No, not just that. They changed weight. They changed all kinds of stuff.
Well, if you look, the main point is that these girls in these pictures were not, it's Utah for God's sakes, they're not even wearing anything low cut, but like a scoop neck, a rounded scoop neck shirt, all of a sudden is a shirt that goes right underneath their neck to cover their breastbone and stuff like that. It's amazing. Or they put what looks like Dickies on the girls in the photos and stuff, and they actually went and looked at the yearbook and noticed I don't have a shirt that looks like that.
So what happened?
The Wasatch County superintendent has admitted that the school erred in not applying the same rules to all students.
Right, because the men had their penises out. Like there was some guys just a zip flopping.
Half of the people in the book did not get edited. The superintendent said, "We only apologize in the sense that we want to be more consistent with what we're trying to do, in the sense that we can help kids better prepare for their future by knowing how to dress appropriately for things."
Oh my God. At what? Oh my God! At what point? Really? Like you're not going to let the parents decide what that happens? It's amazing. Parents want it both ways. Though parents want the school to handle their kids, and they also want the right to tell the school what to do with their kids.
It's amazing. I would kill somebody.
Yeah, messed your outfit up. You? Wait.
Curtains.
A permanent picture of you ended up. You worked hard on picture day to get that outfit.
Especially if this is not the season for a high collar shirt.
Right. Especially. Or and what those boobs cost?
If this is the fall season of V-necks and you put me in a dickie, we're gonna throw down. We're gonna throw down.
I will take off my Giuseppe's and Odis that we are about to throw.
I would protest by waggling my tatas.
Yeah.
Oh man, did she just say waggling her tatas?
I will wave my private parts at your aunties.
I would like to say
What?
I don't know what that means either.
A woman in Seattle got upset because, the Susan G. Komen race, Breast for the Cure, was going by her apartment.
Not breast for the cure, race for the cure. Not breast for the cure.
I said race, breast for the cure.
Yeah, you said breast. Yeah, whatever you said.
Just put all those words in a hat and shake them up.
And give money. And then give some money.
Titties, cancer, pink, walking, money, right?
Titties, cancer, pink, walking. That's their T-shirt, by the way. It says Komen run on the back. It says titties, cancer, pink, money.
You know us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So this lady in Seattle got pissed because, when a walk goes by.
It actually sounded like a rap song.
They're not exactly
titties,
rowdy.
Cancer, pink, money.
They're not exactly rowdy, but it makes a little noise.
Right.
Maybe like the sound of women with cancer choking on their own spittle because they're trying to walk so far.
Yeah.
Maybe something that might make you feel more charitable, right? Bald people out there, right? Okay.
Right.
This woman got pissed, and so she was so angry that she started flinging cat poop at the people walking for the race for the cure, as well as frozen chicken parts.
So she's trying to give him salmonella? What is she trying to do?
Then she took a bag of garbage out of her 5th-story apartment and rained it down on the parade. A 60-something-year-old man using a walker was hit with a green liquid. A 13-year-old girl was hit with a frozen chicken breast so hard it left a knot. trash bags filled with 5 to 10 pounds of cat litter was tossed from the window. It says cat litter and feces. Well, figured that.
Do you know what's weird? Is that I bet you that one was on medication, not to bring it all around. But that's crazy. That's something you do crazy. That's when you're on something. You don't just do that. You go to the store. You go, oh, God, I'm gonna go. I'm going to the movies when this walk thing is over.
She says at the oh no, she said she worked late and she was trying to sleep during the day. The green drink that hit the old dude on the walker.
Right.
She says it was a superfood drink, which is natural, so it's not that bad.
Super healthy, except for the salmonella everybody got from the chicken. And how hard do you have to wing a chicken breast?
They were frozen.
Man.
The poop, I guess, was natural, too. It was
you ever want to see an
organic.
old woman beaten by a bunch of cancer survivors? That's what I want to see. You crazy old lady. I hope to hell these one-tittied women came in and just beat your ass. That's what I hope happened. Give you some love.
I hope it was an old lady. So I'd have another segment story. There was another 89-year-old woman who fought off a robber who was wielding a sword. She grabbed a golf club. This happened in Washington. Same state. Happened in Washington. She used a golf club to beat down a robbery suspect who was armed with a sword. She's 89.
Yeah.
My grandma needs to step up her game.
Old people still kicking ass. That's what we've been calling it. That's great.
She's like playing the banjo and taking dance lessons and Spanish lessons.
We need to get her into some Shotokan karate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna hire you. I'm gonna do a hook kick
in the name of Jesus. That's how she would say it. Kia.
In the name of Jesus.
She would too. She'd take him down. By the way, there's a marijuana coffee out now that it's actually the definition of wake and bake.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon did a funny joke about it last night.
What did he say?
Well, it was the obvious joke, but it was funny. He just basically goes, "Wouldn't that just make you exactly the same?" Pot copy. Wow, that was. I feel nothing. I'm good.
Still kind of sleepy and kind of alert.
Yeah, basically. It feels like I got 4 hours of sleep and had a cup of coffee. Is what it feels like.
It's brilliant. I just want to say now they're doing marijuana delivery. We have a sign right down the street from our house.
Down the street, right on Barham Boulevard.
Because potheads already need something to make them more lazy.
How can I make this so I never have to leave my couch? We got to invent the recliner pooper. The recliner pooper. If we invent the recliner pooper and we have marijuana delivery.
By the way, nobody gets to steal that because we invented it on the podcast.
Yes.
It has a cooler on either side.
And it's got an automatic lid too, so it seals out all smell. And then you have to plumb it into the house.
Yep.
The recliner pooper, man.
We're gonna make billions.
Oh my God.
Because if you think about it, all of these steps are just leading us to that kind of society. Flatline, middle, don't leave your house, don't engage with other people.
Pot delivers.
Nobody exercises, nobody goes out, nobody meets people at the library
But
anymore.
I have 3,200 friends.
You can go to school, but you can do it from your recliner pooper.
Yeah.
You can do it online.
Yep.
We'll bring your groceries, we'll bring your drugs, you can get your drugs delivered, and your marijuana.
Yo, this is the most disgusting thing I ever heard in my life, recliner pooper, man. I'm watching TV, eating your chips, just sit right there. You know, on the other side, you never miss your show.
Right.
Never miss your show. You don't even need DVR no more.
You don't need it anymore. You could save the money on DVR because you're always there.
Yeah, you just attached to your damn chair.
Yeah, but when you say it like that, it makes me creeped out.
I still think it's brilliant.
It's a big grease spot. When you die, they just basically reupholster it.
That dude that I did that story on in the early days when we came up with the recliner pooper actually did fuse to his chair. Remember, they found him, and it was kind of a grease spot in the shape of what was once a very large human.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we're going to end on the recliner pooper, as always. So do me a favor. If you want to hit me on Twitter, I had a Twitter war going on. I basically had an attack yesterday. I attacked a major corporation, and they called me. Just so you know, people, with the stuff that's going on right now, if you can get something amped up, get enough people amped up, people will respond. I had a little incident with Bank of America, and actually not a little incident, another big one. For the 5th time in about less than in 4 years, they have made another mistake, and then sent me a letter saying we made a mistake, and then they still didn't rectify the mistake. It's amazing to me that this company exists. So I started this thing called B of A Blows, and started putting, be it Bank of America or Darth Vader. Darth Vader, because he only is going to take your hand. And all of a sudden, people on Twitter came up with the funniest stuff. I said, Bank of America or Hitler? And someone said, Hitler, because he Hitler, because at least you knew what you were getting. No, Hitler didn't charge hidden fees. That's what they said. People were great. So Bank of America, I got a call from their publicity part. They called me yesterday. Mr. Titus, hi. We've seen this. I'm from social media. I would like to talk to you regarding your problems with the company. I said, oh, really? Now you want to talk to me? I go before, and I started, and I went over the whole list of things they've done in the last 5 years, and the woman was dead silent. She goes, we would like to help you. I'm going to be into this right now. So I've got 2 phone calls in today. But thanks, everybody. Everybody on Twitter who jumped in on the B of A blows, thanks. It was great. But if you want to hit me on Twitter, at Titus Nation. If you want to hit Bombshell, go to
Ray Bradley.
On Facebook, The Real Christopher Titus.
Bombshell Ray or the Titus Podcast.
And I will always be on 3rd and Western. You know that.
So if you want to hit him up.
Yeah, I may have to move, man. Look like the bar that I usually hang out in front of is going to be leased.
You can't tweet him, but you can honk him.
Yeah, just hang by and just yell out, Willie.
Honk, honk.
Yeah, all right. And I'll give you a Jello.
And 140 characters or less.
Yeah, you can't yell any more than 140 characters. All right, guys, Titus Podcast, do me a favor.
We got to say where we're going to be.
Oh, we're going to be in Virginia Beach.
Again, Virginia Beach, this Friday through Sunday, which is June 6th through 8th, okay? Then skip a weekend, and then the 20th, we're going to be in Lawrenceburg, Indiana at the Hollywood Casino.
Yeah.
The 21st, 2 shows only in Nashville this year, and that's it, at Zany's, Nashville, Saturday the 21st. And then the 22nd, Sunday, we're going to be in
Louisville, Kentucky.
It's at the Performing Arts Center. It's the Mortiz von Baumhard Theater.
Wow.
The name of the theater is Baumhard.
Yeah, like Bombshell.
No, or like bomb in comedy. I bombed.
Yeah, that's not good.
Baumhard.
I went to the Baumhard Theater. You going to start with that, or should I kind of do a bit about that? That's hilarious.
The opener. I get there first.
Damn it. I might go to Bowling Green and see the Corvette Museum. I may go to Bowling Green while we're there. I'm excited about that.
Yo, man, just, you know what? You with the car thing, it's addiction. It's a problem. It's pain.
It's his happy place.
It is my happy place.
Kind of like big booty girls are your happy place.
Oh, man, some of them girls that come to your show, some of them big white girls. Oh, I love that.
Thanks, man. Great. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Titus Podcast. Thanks for listening. For myself, Bombshell Rae, and the amazing Willie Jello Johnson. Later.
Peace out.
Jello.
Oh, that was kind of sexy.
I thought that too.
Yeah, you were really late on that one.
It was really sexy if you thought it was sexy.
Well, you made me think of big white girls, and my brain went crazy.
Are you on medication?
You have violated HIPAA laws if you ask me that again.